Hi guys, well, welcome back. Hey, thanks for all the great comments and questions on the How to Pick Properly video. Really excited to see all the responses that on the next step, if you will. We're actually going to do a couple of practical applications, just getting started building some really simple scale shapes. Well, they might seem simple, but they sure were hard when I was first learning them. So let's take our time on it. We'll take a look at it. There's only really 3 shapes that we're going to look at here, and we're going to apply them in a couple of different ways. So what I mean by shapes here is there's when you're looking at a major scale, there's really 3 basic shapes that you're going to be building. Now I'm using the 3-note per string scales, so if you're more of a box shape guy, this might seem a little bit weird for you. But anyways, the shapes that we're going to look at here, I try to refer to them as the fingers that I'm using. So the first shape that I want to build, and I'm going to start on the 12th fret here just so that you can see the pick and the fret hand at the same time. The first shape I want to look at is called a 1-2-4 shape, which basically means you're using your first finger, your second finger, and your pinky, your 4th finger. So let's just go ahead and take a look at that. I'm up on the D string here, or the 4th string, and all I'm doing is just playing 1, 2, and 4. Okay, so 12th fret, 13th fret, and 15th fret. Okay, sorry about that. The other shape, there's 2 other shapes. The other shape that we're going to look at is called the 1-3-4. So first finger, 3rd finger, and pinky. Okay, so 1, 2, 4, and the 1-3-4. Okay. That's usually enough if you're, into box shape stuff. But there's still one more shape that we can throw on top of this, and for lack of a better name, I called it a big stretch. It's like a 1-2-4, using your first finger, your second finger, and your pinky. But each fret has got 1 fret in between. So now I'm doing the 12th fret, the 14th, and the 16th. Okay, so let's quickly go over those shapes. There's the 1-2-4, the 1-3-4, and then the big stretch. Okay, now I'm just going to stick with the big stretch shape for right now. Okay, so how do we apply these? Well, one of the things that we want to keep in mind when we're playing these shapes is they're all 3-note per string. So anytime that we're doing any kind of repetitive movement within a shape, that means playing it once, playing it 2 times or 3 times or whatever, every time we go to cycle through this shape, because it's 3 notes and we're doing 3 pick strokes, the pick stroke is always going to start differently. So if the first time I'm starting with a down pick stroke, the next time I'm going to be starting with an up. Okay, so as we're playing this, always try to think about that first pick stroke. Okay, so down, up. And then as you're speeding it up, really all you need to do, if you're alternating through this whole thing, is just think about that first pick stroke. Down, up, down, up. Okay, and that's really all I'm thinking about, is just that first pick stroke, especially when it gets a little bit fast. I mean, that's all you have time to think about, right? Okay, so let's put this, so you can do this in all the different shapes. So do that in the big stretch, the 1-2-4, the 1-3-4. Okay, and try it on a bunch of different strings here, always applying the arm movement. So if we're up on the high E string, your pick's going to be up about here. Okay, down on the low E, pick's going to be way back here. Okay, just remember all the things that I talked about in the alternate picking video apply, so the whole arm movement, that sort of thing. Okay, so let's put it together with a little exercise. Now we're always going to do pairs of shapes. Later on I'll talk about how you can mix and match these shapes in different arrangements. But for right now, let's just pair them up, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to start with a pair of big stretches. So I'm still on the 12th fret on the D string, and I'm also going to do a big stretch on the G. So when we go to play this, the first set of big stretches is picked by down, up, down. And then we're just going to move over to the next string and do an up, down, up. Okay, pretty straightforward, just down and up. Okay, you might want to work that in a couple times. Now, what's interesting though is on our way back, we're still thinking about that first pick stroke on every string. So I'm still thinking about that down, then I'm thinking about this up, and as I come back, I'm coming back, now watch, I'm coming back with a downstroke here. Okay, so down, up, down. So you're just going to have to watch your arm a little bit, because what's going to happen a lot of times, and I've seen this when I've been teaching, is you tend to let the arm dictate the pick stroke, and you sort of have to bust out of that mentality. This is independent of this. So regardless of whether I'm going to a string behind or a string in front, I'm still alternating, okay? So down, up, down. Okay? Does that make sense? All right, so let's do an additional sequence here. What we're going to do is, the first three notes of the D string here, and just the first note on the next string. It's that upstroke there. Okay, we're just going to emphasize that. So we're going to go down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So just kind of working in that area where we're changing strings, because that's 90% of the problem, right? Just getting to that stupid next string and still be alternating properly. So let's try that, okay? So down, up, down. All right, one more time. Down, up, down. All right, so... Alright, so you get the idea, okay? The next version of this is we're going to sort of emphasize that whole string moving part. So what's going to happen is we're still going to go up those four notes, but now we're going to come back to our pinky note of that big stretch, see it there? And then we're going to come up again for that first finger once more, and then come back down. So we're essentially working that area twice, okay? And again, minding the pick strokes, okay? Down, up, down, up, down, up. All right, so it sort of sounds like this. Okay, you get the idea. All right. Okay, now the last one here is just doing all six notes. So we're just going to go... So just sort of a bit of a break from all this rapid arm movement here. So we did the first one where it was just up four notes and back. The next one, we repeated that string change section there between the pinky finger and the first finger on the next string. So we did that twice. And then the last time we did all six. Okay, so what I try to do is I try to combine them. So it sort of sounds like this. Okay, one more time. Okay, so you get the idea there. Okay, so that's the sequence, or the group of sequences. You can try it in all the different shapes. So if you want to do it in the 1, 2, 4 shape, by all means, it's probably a good idea. Okay, and then the 1, 3, 4 shape. Okay, so work that on different pairs of strings, okay, like the low E string, the A string, up on the B and the E, whichever is your preference, okay, but do them all. You want to still be working the palm locations, okay, the pivot locations, along with this exercise. All right, so I'm going to leave it there for today. Hopefully I'll do a little bit more next time I see you. As always, leave me some comments and some information. It's great to hear from you guys. Take care.